Welcome to the WordPress Photography Podcast, the podcast for photographers who want to learn how to get the most out of WordPress to grow their photography business. You don't need to be a geek to understand WordPress. Settle back and listen as we show you how. Now, here's your host, Scott Wyden-Kivowitz.
Welcome to episode 72. My name is Scott Wyden-Kivowitz, and I am the Chief Community Officer here at Imagely and the host of this podcast. Well, welcome to 2019. I can't believe we're here already. I feel like I just started this podcast for Imagely, and it's been 2 years already. Well, I mean, it hasn't been 2 years of doing the podcast, but we've gone through 2 New Years already. That's amazing. Now, I want to share a bunch of things. I want to share a bunch of things about what's happening, what's going to happen, what to expect, and things like that. And, well, I hope you've been enjoying the podcast up until now. We have a lot more to come, a lot more to discuss, a lot more to share with you. And we want your involvement even more. So please go to the show notes, imagely.com/podcast/72. Share some feedback on what you like and don't like about the podcast, what you want to hear and see from the podcast in the future, and things like that. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your questions. What can I answer for you in the podcast? Now, I want to share, I will be at the Connecticut Professional Photographers of America, CTPPA. I will be at their 70th annual conference in February, and I will be there speaking about personal roadblocks in life and sharing workflow and advice on using tools in your personal and business life. I really hope that you can go. If you're in the Connecticut area, just go to ctppa.com and you can check out their conference. I don't believe you have to be a member to attend. I think it is a little bit more expensive if you are not a member to attend, but I hope to see you there nonetheless. Of course, we will be in 2019, we will be at a bunch more shows. We hope to, at least that is the current plan. It will be me and our CEO, Eric Danzer, or just him or just myself. It would depend on location, timing, and things like that. Now, WordPress 5.0 is here. It is the future of WordPress. And this is what's going to take WordPress to well beyond the future and take it to new levels and potentially make it grow even further. I mean, last I heard, WordPress was 33% of the internet. Now with 5.0, the possibility of content creation is even further. And WordPress is far simpler. So we're going to see a lot more people moving back to WordPress from things like Squarespace and Wix and Weebly, because now WordPress is even easier to create content. Now, 5.0 does have a new visual editor experience. It is a block-based system, so you can drag and drop and put pieces of content wherever you want. And in phase 2 and 3 and 4 of WordPress, this new visual editor, the code name of this was Project Gutenberg. The next phases are to turn the widgets that you are using into blocks so that you aren't just adding widgets to widget areas, you're adding blocks to widget areas, or block areas, sidebar blocks basically, which means any plugin that has a block can go anywhere on your site. Then the next stage after that is things like header and footer. So you'll be able to add blocks to your header and footer, just like if it was a widget. And of course, the end goal of WordPress 5.0 is to make it more of a page builder-like experience from head to toe, from A to Z, from top to bottom. Now, I will be converting my personal site from some pages which are using Elementor to pages using Gutenberg. I've already started this process, and over the coming months, I will be converting 100% of my Elementor pages to Gutenberg, because that is the future. And if there's a page builder-like experience in WordPress itself, why use a third-party page builder? Well, right now, there are still advantages of using a page builder plugin like Elementor or Beaver Builder, but that's going to slowly degrade because of the new visual editor. Now, Imagely is working on a new product called Gridsy, which will play a major role in all the themes Imagely will be making in the future, including Photocrati Pro. Gridsy will be a page builder-like experience, adding more features like Elementor and Beaver Builder to Gutenberg itself. Now, as a matter of fact, in initial testing of Gutenberg, of pages created using Gutenberg and then pages made using Elementor and Beaver Builder that match, the Gutenberg created pages in WordPress 5.0 are actually way faster. The speed increases dramatically compared to using a page builder plugin like Elementor or Beaver Builder. Now, I want to just say to please join the WordPress for Photographers group on Facebook so you can stay up to date on the latest WordPress things as it relates to your photography website. You can join discussions that help you grow your business through your website. This is something that I'm doing myself. It has nothing to do with Imagely, but I do work for Imagely. So of course, a lot of the content that I share is from Imagely, but I also share content from elsewhere. But basically it's where I want you to go. You can talk about the podcast there. You can talk about plugins and themes. You can ask questions and just interact with the 2,000 photographers that are there to discuss WordPress specifically. Now, I want you to start off this new year, 2019, with a book. The book that I want you to read is a quick read. You can probably read it in 2 or 3 days if you put it down and pick it up. If you just read it straight through, you'll definitely be able to finish it in one day. It is from Seth Godin. It's called This Is Marketing. And it's basically Seth's new take on what marketing is in 2018, 2019. And it's a really good read. Now, next thing I want to talk about are plugins, tools that I continue to use and I recommend to this day. For contact forms and bookings, I recommend using Gravity Forms or WP Forms. You might need their extensions depending on what you want to do with it, but they are so robust, very easy to use, and quite powerful. Next is JPEG Mini Pro for image compression on your website, and this is something you can do out of Lightroom, out of Photoshop. And then if you want a WordPress plugin to do this, also Imagify. It's fantastic for online image compression. Next up is Social Warfare Pro for social sharing and soon social following. I know they've been working on that for some time and hopefully that comes soon, but Social Warfare Pro is probably the lightest weight of all social sharing plugins that offer tracking. There are lighter ones, but they don't offer tracking of the sharing. Next is WordPress Editorial Calendar. It's a free plugin that allows you to organize the content you have scheduled or as drafts. And you can do it in a calendar view, drag and drop to reorder. It's just a great way to organize the content you are working on in WordPress. Now, if you want to see my actual content creation workflow, I created a video on my YouTube channel. I will link to that video in the show notes. So please just visit the show notes and you'll be able to check out that video. Now, for site speed, I recommend using WP Rocket Cache. We use it on all the Imagely sites, and I use it on my own personal sites. I highly recommend it for caching your site. And if you need a backup solution, WP Time Capsule is like the Mac Time Machine software. So it actually backs up your site incremental. So you're not doing duplicate backups over and over and over again on a server. You're doing increments to make it a lighter weight backup, use less resources, and you can go back day to day without having to restore tons of files and database things. And if you like automated social scheduling, then using the service Buffer combined with WP to Buffer Pro, the WordPress plugin, you can actually schedule all of your social media posts beyond a month just by hitting publish. It's a beautiful thing, so check that out. And if you are looking to increase your lead generation using a tool like Opt-in Monster, which is a service, you have to pay for the service and then you install the plugin, or using something like Sticky Emails, will be fantastic for doing slide ups and pop-ups to do lead generation. Then, of course, there is Yoast SEO, probably the most discussed plugin on this podcast. Still, to this day, is probably the most popular WordPress plugin ever, and it is something that you should have on your site and should be using to help clean up your site and make sure that a lot of the on-page items are optimized. And of course, Next-Gen Gallery for your portfolios, your galleries, your proofing, and your e-commerce. And speaking of Next-Gen Gallery, coming early 2019 is PrintLab integration. Yes, I've talked about this many times on the show, But NextGen Pro's automated print fulfillment is done. We completed it. And by the time that you're listening to this, we're in the launch planning stages. We have gone through a bunch of testing. We've ordered our own prints and we've done real world tests, and it's doing very well. Of course, it is an initial product, so there will be some fine tuning to do. There will be some, bug fixes to patch as they come up, and there will be some product improvements, of course. Right now, it only integrates with one lab, White House Custom Color. They're out of Minnesota in the United States. They do ship internationally, so if you are not in the United States, don't worry, they will still ship wherever you want. Now, with that said, we do plan on adding additional labs. We do plan on adding additional print options, different choices from what we're initially offering, and much, much more. But we had to start out with something. And as you might guess, developing an automated print fulfillment through a professional lab is a hard project in itself. Developing it for WordPress was even harder. But it is done. And again, by the time that you are listening to this, it will already be in the launch planning stages, and we hope very, very, very soon to get it out into your hands. And of course, with this also comes a relaunch of Imagely Hosting, renamed as Imagely Sites, a turnkey photography website solution. And it will be hosting with backups, with everything that you need, including NextGen Gallery, NextGen Pro, all the plugins that you need, all the themes that you might want, all available in one place at one affordable price. And we're very excited to get that out. So that will be coming at the same time as we launch lab integration. We'll be launching Imagely Sites. Now, the price of NextGen Pro and the lifetime accounts will be going up, while the new price is yet to be determined. If you've been considering a subscription, you should pick it up now so you're not locked in before the price increases. So there you have it. Welcome to 2019. So much to look forward to as far as with WordPress 5.0 and what it offers, what we're working on at Imagely, and just, it's a time to celebrate. We made it to another year, and that is a big thing. So I want you to take a moment, take a deep breath, and welcome to 2019. Here is to a fantastic year of photography in our photography businesses. Here is to a fantastic year of our websites being simplified and being able to do more for us. And here's to the next episode. I look forward to sharing more with you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for subscribing wherever you subscribe to podcasts. And I really do appreciate you listening to however many episodes that you listen to. You're fantastic.
You've been listening to the WordPress Photography Podcast. To listen to other episodes and to subscribe to the podcast via iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and more, please visit imagely.com/podcast.